Hey folks, this is Riker, and I took first place in Torchlight Infinite's Cube Dash competition. But more on that in a bit. Torchlight Infinite just saw its global full release this week out of beta, and the devs sponsored me to participate in the Cube Dash event and release this video talking a bit about Torchlight Infinite. This is a game that I've been talking about for a long time now, well over a year. Is it 2 years at this point? It's been an open beta for a few months now. We just had our third season launch with the full global launch of the game. I always love jumping in at the start of a season. It's a lot of fast-paced fun. There's some great character progression systems, great itemization, and it's kind of like a hybrid of Path of Exile and Diablo in that it's got a lot of systems very reminiscent of Path of Exile. The way skills work with sort of supporting gems, but it's all done in a more accessible way, kind of more Diablo style in that regard. The game is cross-platform on both mobile and PC. You can get it on Steam, free to play, free to download, cross-progression, cross-play. And I know people bring up concerns about free-to-play mobile titles. We got a full video comparing Torchlight Infinite to Diablo Immortal, what they do different. This game is fully free-to-play friendly. Part of their content loadout is to release new heroes. Those aren't free, but eventually they give you ways to earn those heroes. That said, there's tons of blasters that play this game 100% free-to-play, and the devs have literally held contests to prove that free-to-play players can beat paid players. Also, Maxroll has officially partnered with Torchlight Infinite. You can literally find a Maxroll link in the game. You go there, you get brought to Maxroll guides. Maxroll's got you covered on any kind of build guides or information that you need on Torchlight Infinite to optimize, to dominate, to maximize your effectiveness and your fun in the game. While the game doesn't currently have the ability to play with other people in your party, there is a trade system. So for those seeking that trade experience of recognizing what gear sells well, flipping gear, finding items that are perfect for your character, and then crafting on them, customizing them, that gameplay is fully offered there. There's a campaign to play through after which there's an end game that's similar to Path of Exile's mapping system. You're going to basically find keys for maps and you progress through higher tiers. You got to fight bosses along the way to unlock those higher tiers. There's pinnacle challenges along the way that really dominate you if you're not ready for them. The overall pace of the game is zoom, zoom, blast, demolish things really fast, but the bosses have tons of mechanics. You gotta react to them, you gotta learn the patterns, you gotta dodge, you gotta avoid, you gotta work on your character's defenses, get your resists up ready for those fights. And every season rolls out with updates and new content. There's a season theme with season-exclusive gameplay. For this season, it's the Cube of Rapacity. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But they add new heroes, new skills, new mechanics. And the Cube of Rapacity is something that you will, this season, once you get high enough level, which isn't very high at all, you're going to start to find at the end of every map, basically. And it's this gambling system with the risk versus reward kind of gameplay. Basically, throughout the map, you'll be fighting certain key enemies designated on your minimap. These will give you a certain resource that you can use for gambling at the cube. The cube will randomize an assortment of gear that you could potentially win. You effectively pull on the slot machine, consuming some of that resource that you acquired throughout the level, and you'll randomly get one of those items. And then you can choose to gamble more of that resource and more, and every time an item is withdrawn, it's replaced with a new one. And you're able to store a certain amount of that resource for the next time you encounter the cube. So you got decisions to make. Is there stuff that I really want now and I'm going to deplete all my resource trying to get it? Or do I save up on the resource? There's like 40 of the resource that you can hold on to, but there's no reason to ever hold on to more than 40 because anything above 40 is lost. So that way it encourages you to not just hoard forever until you get your perfect roll. You still will generally be spending, depending on, how many enemies you're killing throughout the map. If you're a playstyle where you're going to be skipping all the enemies, well, you're not going to get that resource. So you're incentivized to actually kill some of these key enemies on the map. And this drastically affected my playstyle versus the past 2 seasons. And that actually ties into the Cube Dash contest. Because one of the things that you can get in the cube are these sort of puzzle piece type things. They're like Tetris blocks. And these tie into this entire game mechanic where you can fit these sort of like charm style, almost like, Diablo 2 charms with different shapes, and you can fit them into this inventory block here. And as you level up more and more, you unlock more spots to fit more of these puzzle pieces. And so the Cube Dash event was, we were a group of streamers who were competing to be the first to complete a 3x4 puzzle piece. Basically, we needed to find puzzle pieces and fit them together into a 3x4 puzzle. So I knew that to get that shape, I needed to be at least level 70 because that's when I unlock enough slots to do so. But my strategy before then was to grind up as many puzzle pieces as possible in order to have a number of different combinations that I could work with in order to fill out my puzzle. So basically my strategy was to kill as many of those specific key enemies as I can whenever I would find them, and then at the cube, only gamble for the puzzle pieces. Once I had a couple of the same puzzle piece, I wouldn't keep gambling for that same piece, but I was trying to get more and more varied puzzle pieces. And I was finding a lot of them through this strategy. So remember that tip, actually, as we're going to talk soon about how you can also win some stuff. But anyway, as I was coming up at level 70, I had a lot of puzzle pieces. But I was missing one critical piece in order to complete my puzzle. My hope had been that I would have had the puzzle completed, or at least the puzzle pieces to complete the puzzle, ready before I hit 70. So that bam, the moment I hit 70, I can immediately complete the puzzle, immediately complete the competition. Because throughout most of the race, I was neck and neck with the second place dude, Bajira. And as we're coming up on level 70, he's just a little bit behind me, and I'm wondering, damn, does he have the puzzle pieces that he needs to complete it? Because I don't. So maybe I'm going to hit 70 first, but I don't have the puzzle pieces. Maybe it's going to take me to level 75 before I find them all. So with Bajira hot on my tail, I'm running a map. I ding 70 throughout the map. I beat the boss. The cube comes up, and the puzzle piece that I'd been looking for the past 30 levels finally shows up in the cube. But I gotta gamble it. Just because it's in the cube doesn't mean I get it for sure. There's like a 1 in, 8 chance every time you gamble that you get the thing that you're desiring. So now we're going into overtime. Let's see, it took us 8 hours, 50 minutes to reach level 70. Let's see how long it's going to take us now to complete the puzzle. Please! For the love of God, please give it to me. We have 4 attempts to get this. 4 attempts to get a 1 out of 7 chance. Oh my God. I hit gamble, and bam, on the first go, I get the puzzle piece, I claim it, complete the contest, get that first place. And what getting first place means, folks, is that those of you who want to use my code in the game, those of you who already did, and I think you still can, in-game redeem the code GoRiker, you will win 200 Prymo Crysts. So I think you can still go ahead and do that right now, redeem GoRiker in-game. You're going to get 50 Prymo Crysts just by default, and then a 200 because I got first place. That's an in-game currency. But there's also a contest that you folks could participate in with a $10,000 prize pool to win from. And it'll be the first 100 supporters to collect the most puzzle pieces before the event ends will all win and share equally in a $10,000 prize pool. So each of the 100 winners will win a $100 voucher either on Steam, Amazon, Google, or Apple. Now again, you don't have to complete the puzzle, you just need to collect as many pieces as possible. So the tip there on farming those pieces, speed through your levels, kill any of the red dot enemies on your minimap. They're going to give you that material at the cube. Don't waste your resource on things that are not puzzle pieces. I mean, unless you see something that's really good for your build or you really need to go after, you know. But especially as you're leveling up, there's going to be a sweet spot in the, I want to say level 30 to 50 range where puzzle pieces are popping up and not other things. As you get higher in level, other things start to appear in the cube, which reduces the odds of getting a puzzle piece, at least in my experience. So do be sure, when you're leveling up, before you're even hitting the end game, while you're still in the campaign, as soon as puzzle pieces are coming up, you are gambling for them. That's a key time to farm up a ton. I got most of my puzzle pieces before I hit endgame. But anyway, folks, that's going to wrap up this video. Again, you can download the game for free. Use my link in the description below to do so. And in-game, use code GoRiker. Get some free Prymo Crysts. And good luck in collecting those puzzle pieces.